Hello, folks. I am your host, Franco Vega, and I want to thank you for tuning into the RightWay podcast. On this program, we'll interview folks who have been through some pain, like my beautiful foster youth, and who have turned that pain into power. To learn more about our organization and our mission, please visit our website at therightwayfoundation.org. Hello, folks. Welcome back to RightWay Podcast, where you know our theme is to go from pain to power. We have an awesome guest in the building, goes by the name of Ari. Ari, how are you doing?
I'm doing great today. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Thank you for asking. So tell our listeners, who is Ari?
Ari is an aspiring entrepreneur. She's been through a lot. Well, talk about me. I've been through a lot, but it's changed me and helped me evolve as a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said entrepreneur.
Yes.
What do you want to go into? What kind of business you want to create and run and be successful at?
To be honest, I have a lot of ideas, but I'm thinking more like a pet business since I have a dog, and I want to do pet balms for the nose, for the toes and everything, and then also make like dog beds and everything, make like lotions or like oils for the skin.
Awesome. What kind of dog do you have?
I have a Belgian Malinois mixed with a Border Collie.
Oh.
She is hyper.
She's hyper? Okay,
Yeah.
Good to go. So you've been a part of RightWay. When did you join RightWay? When did you come to our foundation?
I do believe September of last year.
September of last year. And who referred you to us?
My sister, actually. She got in touch with Evelina, and she couldn't do it, but I asked Evelina, I'm like, you know what, I'm not doing anything. It's okay if I come in.
Okay.
So that's how I got involved.
Okay. So all of our audience knows that we serve awesome foster youth. When did you go into the foster care system?
Since from, say like 2 years old all the way to 7 years old, and then I got adopted.
Oh, you got adopted. And then how does that adoption go?
I mean, it was cool. I got kicked out when I was 18, though. Turned 18. The week of my 18th birthday, they kicked me out.
Your adopted family?
Yes.
Why did they kick you out?
Simple story short, they wanted, so I was going to do the military, and I was going to do the Marines. And at first they was cool, and then my adopted dad was like, no, you're not going to do the Marines because you're a black female. I'd rather you do the Air Force or the Navy.
Okay.
And I'm always up for a challenge, so I don't want to do that. I want to do the Marines. That's hardcore.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that is.
for real. And then I had signed with the Marines without them knowing. But then I felt bad, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna tell them. And then he was like, well, since you think you're an adult, you can make your own decisions. You need to go ahead and find a place to live. You need to get a job and everything. They had me looking for shelters, had me calling shelters and everything. And then I got my job at Baskin Robbins.
Okay.
And then I moved out. It's an interesting story because I was still in high school at the time, and it was during like COVID time. And then my adopted mom had emailed, was like, oh yeah, they found a bed for you at Covenant House in Hollywood. So then I had to leave school, go home, pack all my bags, and then they dropped me off at the shelter. Yeah.
So you were with this family from 7 years old. This is your family. Yeah. And then they get rid of you at 18. And do you still talk to them?
No, I don't. My adoptive mom, I do talk to her a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, it was kind of like when I first moved out, my adoptive dad did some stuff, and he ended up telling everybody to stop talking to me. So I went without contact with them for about a year or two. So after that, it was just kind of weird when we did get back into in contact. It was just like they kind of blamed me everything because I had called like CPS on them for stuff that was happening inside the house. They was like, oh, you broke up the family, you know, why would you do that? You know, we had everything under control. Now everybody's looking at us like we don't know how to take care of children and everything. So it was a struggle, but
well, it sounds like they don't know how to take care of children. So it sounds like you're right to call CPS and DCFS. So, you know, from an outside person looking in, and I don't know your real story because you've been with us only since September, but you're a star because I always remember, well, sadly, and I say this sarcastically, I just know my bad students, you know, they stay fresh on my mind, keep me up all night, but you don't, you know, I love when you come in, I see your smile, your personality is awesome. So how did you deal with that? Because, you know, that's a family. That's the only real family you really know. So at 18, they boot you out. So how do we deal with that pain and that trauma?
I'm not going to lie. I was an angry little kid. I was just angry at the world. I started smoking a lot, trying to cope with the pain. I kind of was like not going to classes, just getting involved with some people that weren't good for my health. And for the first year I was at the shelter, I was in and out of jobs, just getting distracted a lot. And it was just like, I felt like nobody loved me. I felt like I couldn't trust anybody. I was just like straight up on survival mode. And it was just like, this is it kind of sucks and everything. But as I got a little older, started getting into more experiences, it was just like, this is my life. I got to make something out of it. I can't let people's actions determine who I become to be. Yeah, so I started hustling, doing things, finding hobbies that really describe me,
Okay.
But yeah, it was.
So you recognized at a young age you was running with the wrong circle. That's good. That's a blessing. A lot of you did it so fast. A lot of people are 29 still running with the wrong circle. So what words of advice can you give to our listeners? Similar situation, because you're a proven example of you took your pain and turned it into power.
I would say don't let your emotions control you. Because that's a very strong thing. If you
correct
act based on your emotions, then you can probably mess up your whole life. You could end up in jail. You could end up dead, or you could just end up, in a bad like spot where you like, well, I didn't expect to be here. So I would just say, learn how to hone in your emotions, learn how to find healthy coping mechanisms, and just be a light. Just be positive.
Correct. And where are you living at now?
I just got my apartment 30 minutes from here, actually, at Crenshaw.
Sweet. Okay. And you got your own apartment?
Yes, I do.
1 bedroom, studio, bachelor?
A studio, yeah.
Studio? Awesome. So what organization?
Oh, the Covenant House. They helped me pay for it.
Oh, Covenant House is helping you. Good job, Covenant House. Big shout out to Covenant House. They're one of our partners.
Oh,
they got a great CEO, great, awesome guy. He runs the International Covenant House. Covenant House is big. It's worldwide. They do some great work with the homeless kids in Hollywood. Okay, so they're helping you out, subsidizing your apartment, getting you back on your feet. All right, awesome. And how long is that going to last?
For about 2 years.
2 years. Okay. Good to go. When that runs out, I guess we'll help pick up the slack.
Sure.
We'll take care of you too also. So words of wisdom, you said don't let your emotions get the best of you. That's awesome, because that's a problem amongst our youth. They're quick to get ticked off and curse people out and burn bridges. And rightfully so. They're angry. I understand. But they should not let other people control their attitudes or emotion. Okay. And so how's your sister?
She's doing good. We kind of had a little falling out, but
we'll get that better. Get that back. That's all you have is your family, and that's your biological sister.
Yes.
Was she in the same adoption as you?
Yes, it's me, my sister, and then my brother. We all got adopted
by just one family. Okay, so they kept you guys together. So that was a positive.
I like that.
Okay, good. So it was a little bit of a structure. I just don't like the way they did you at 18. Okay, all right. And what's your brother doing now?
He graduated high school 2 years early. He's working at Burger King, and he just turned 18. And he's thinking about joining the Air Force.
Okay. So, yeah. Well, tell him come see us before he joins. I was in the Army. I can help him out.
I would definitely tell him. I've actually been trying to help them. I'm telling them to get into SILP and everything. I'm like, I can't do it, but y'all can do it. Y'all still young. So.
Oh, your sister's younger.
She's 19.
She's okay. And was she thrown out too, or no?
She had a little harder than me, but she ended up leaving because she.
So she went back into the foster care system before she turned 18?
No, she went straight into a shelter. She was moving from house to house, and then she went into a shelter after. Yeah.
How old was she when she went into a shelter?
18.
Okay. All right. Well, let's pull up her file and see what benefits we can get her also too. Awesome. So we're going to wrap it up with our lovely Ari. Please tune in next week when we have another guest share their stories, how they take their pain like Ari and turned it into power. And be on the lookout for her doggy business. Support her. And we'll get you guys the name when she creates it. Okay. Peace. God bless. Thank you for tuning into the Right Way podcast. And we invite you to come back every week. Read more about us and our mission at therightwayfoundation.org.